Okay, to get to the next one, you might ask me, why are we writing the timetables in such a weird way? And it's actually not weird. It's just a way also of multiplication, but making it easier to be able to draw these squares and then the triangles inside. I'm going to help you, and now we're going to apply this sum, 214 or 214 times 3. Okay, if you want to, if you need to, you can go and get a block paper like this, or you can even do it in your math book. Tell Manfora that I gave you permission to do that. Okay, so what we can do to use these blocks, we are going to have 2 blocks per number. So we are going to start with these 3 numbers, so every number has to have 2 blocks. There's going to be 2, 4, 6. So first of all, we're going to draw a rectangle. You can do it with me, or if you want to, you can pause and see what I'm doing, or rewind and then go back and see what I did. So first we made a rectangle with 4 squares inside, and now that's horizontal and vertical lines. And to get to the diagonal ones, or to make these squares into triangles, we are going to work diagonally. In every square we are going to make a triangle. So work from angle to angle. Okay, and then we've got the three blocks together. Okay, now what we're going to do, the hundreds, the tens, and the units, we are going to write above every number or every block. The 4, we can start from the left to the right, or the right to the left. Then the 1 and the 2, and then on the right hand side of this square we are going to write the number that we are going to multiply with. Okay, if you're not sure, you can rewind the video and then you can look at it again. Now the next step is we are going to do exactly what we did with the 2 times table and the 5 times table. Where the 2 cross, where the 2 numbers cross, that is where we're going to write the answer. So like we did in the previous exercise, 4 times the 3 is going to be 12, so we're going to do exactly the same. Then 3 times the 1 is going to be 3, but now remember we have to fill up the whole square, so we're going to do a 0 there just to fill up the tens. Right, the next one is going to be the 3 times the 2, and that's going to be 6, and now with a 0 there. Now here comes the nice part of the whole multiplication. We have to get an answer for this when we did multiplication in the classes with the teachers just before the school closed. Okay, and this is the fun part. With every diagonal line we are just going to make it a bit longer. Okay, so if you look at what I'm doing, there's one diagonal line, so we're just going to make it longer but go outside the square. Okay, the next one also the same, the next diagonal also the same. Can you see now there's 3 lines, but it's longer, but it's in line with the diagonals that I made there already. Okay, now if you look at each diagonal, you can see the numbers, all the pink numbers I'm going to add. So you can ignore these ones on the outside, and then all the pink ones I'm going to add. There's only a 2, so I'm going to write the 2 under the diagonal line. Okay, moving on to the next diagonal. There's a 3 plus a 1, and that is going to be a 4. Okay, the next one. A 6 plus a 0 is going to be 6. And then there's only a 0 on that side, so that's going to be my 0. I keep it like that. Now, if you look at the number there at the bottom, that is going to be my answer. So, if I write it next to each other, 6, 4, 2, so my answer to 214 times 3 is going to be 642. Okay, let's do another one together. Okay, the next one that I've got for you is 432 times 5. So let's write the numbers there above the block. You can write this or draw the blocks on your own time. This is just to make sure that you understand the method that we're using. Okay, so remember, every number that they give us at the top, we are going to write at the top. The one I'm going to multiply with is the one that I'm going to write on the right hand side. Okay, let's do the answers now. Okay, remember the units and then the tens. So 5 times 2 is going to be 10, and the tens there. 5 times 3 is going to be 15, and then 5 times 4 is going to be 20, so it's going to be a 0, and the 2 in the block of the tens. Now to get to the answer, remember, I'm going to make the diagonals longer to go outside the rectangle and the squares, and now I add the numbers that's going to be in the diagonals. So there you can see it's only a 0. Okay, the next diagonal lines, 5 plus the 1 is going to be 6. The next one is going to be 0 plus the 1 is going to be 1. And then the 2, you can see it's the only one there, so I'm going to write it in the same diagonal. Okay, so now if I want to write the answer, it will be 2160. And if you're not sure about the answer, you can check on a calculator if you want to, or you can ask your mom or dad to check for you. They can even join you to do these things because it's a lot of fun. Okay, the next one. $753 times 5. Okay, let's write the numbers there at the top. And I think the longest part is doing these squares and rectangles and triangles together to get the sum to do it in. Okay. Okay, let's try this one. 3 times 5 is going to be 15. 5 there and the 1 there at the top of the triangles. Okay, then the 5 times the 5 is going to be 25, and then the 5 times the 7 is going to be 35. Okay, now again, the next step is going to be to extend these diagonals. And remember, with the method your teacher showed you, we're going to do exactly the same method. So first we multiply, and then we carry over, and then we add them. Okay, so in this case we're going to look at the diagonals again. There's only a 5. The next one is a 5 plus a 1, and that's 6. The next one is going to be a 5 plus a 2, and that's 7. And there's a 3 left, so we're going to write it there in the last diagonal. So if you bring it down, 3, 7, 6, 5. Okay, I'm trying to use colors so that you can see and not get confused with what numbers I use when.